Hey, welcome to RV Hitched and Rolling. Okay, so now we're taking a tour of the Wonderland cave here in South Dakota. So we already started our little walk to get to the cave, and I'll go ahead and pause now. And once we get down there, we'll show you what we'll see.
Cave and had no idea that it was even here. But one day their dog got loose and tumbled into this entrance and discovered the whole entire top room. They tried to find some gold in our cave, but they were really sad when they found out that gold will never occur in limestone. And then our cave has just been used for tourism ever since then. You're going to see a lot of stairs in here, lots of work done, and that was all done by the Civilians Conservation Corps and those two brothers that were working out here. While we're in the cave today, just make sure we're not touching any formations or taking anything out of the cave. Are you guys all okay with that? Can do that? All right, thanks so much. Make sure we're watching our head and our step too.
Okay, so here we go. The adventure begins.
How hot is outside today? It feels great in here. It does stay this temperature year round, so even in the wintertime when it's snowing out in the negatives, it's still going to be 47 degrees down in the cave. Just a quick recap on how caves are formed. So the Black Hills was flooded about 60 million years ago. It was a shallow inland sea. And that water came rushing in here, moved back and forth, and that's the reason for the high ceilings. It also created all of our calcite crystals. First crystal I'm going to talk about today is right up here. You might think, well, it doesn't really look like a crystal on the ceiling. Like, what am I looking at right now? It's called boxwork. If you were to break that open, it would be sort of like a geode. You'd see all the calcite crystal underneath it. We have some more of that boxwork right behind your head too. In the Black Hills, we have 90% of the whole entire world's boxwork in our cave, Wind Cave, and Jewel Cave. So while you guys are here, I would take the time to go check those out as well. Over behind this fence used to be our margarita bar, but we found out that mixing margaritas and steps is kind of a bad idea. Put a fence up there to keep you guys out of that. All of these rocks come from the bottom part of our cave. The CCC didn't want to do that tedious job of carrying each and every one of these out one by one, so they just give us some stability today. They're also all around the staircase. Both of these holes are used for something called spelunking or caving. Do you guys know what that is? Not really. So it's crawling around in a cave, like really tight spaces. Usually you use like rock climbing gear and things like that. We're not doing that today. Really sorry to tell you. That bottom hole goes back 10 feet and then it is a 240-foot drop straight down.
Yeah, the word spelunking didn't even sound appealing.
No spelunking? Make sure you guys are all looking at those stairs. Now is the time to know if you don't need to make it back up them. Just
Yo, that's gonna be a steep walk coming back.
stairs left. Oh, jeez. So right now we are halfway down the staircase in this hole above our head. It's called Fat Man's Misery. So we used to drop you guys down that and send you back up this left-hand side on all of those cave tours back in the 30s. Really happy the CCC poured the concrete for all of these steps. Once we hit the ones down here, this is where our growing cave begins. You'll notice some water coming down. That makes the stairs slippery. That water hits you. It's called a cave kiss. So try to get as many cave kisses as you can. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, this is your best thing stairs.
Okay, we're gonna pause until we get down to the bottom now.
It's the longest one down here. We did a code smoke bomb test back in the 30s. We got that fire right over there. And then the civilians, conservation corps workers ran outside and chased it around for a while and found out it's just over a mile away from here. And on that left-hand side, you'll see an alien face, kind of. You gotta look hard, but his name's Bob. Watch out for his runny nose. He loves to sneeze on tourists. That's called flowstone, and that one is growing. How it grows is the rainwater comes down here, which takes about 4 weeks in this bottom room, collects all the calcium carbonate minerals, and then it builds on top of a cyanobacteria, and all of those things together make flowstone. Our nickname for that is melted wedding cake. Pop quiz. Do any of you already know the difference between the two?
One comes from the top, one comes from the bottom.
Yeah, so I have a catchphrase for you. You gotta remember this to get out of the cave, so make sure you're listening really well right now. The stalactites hang tight to the ceiling and stalagmites on the bottom because you might trip over them. You guys all got that, right? They're just all formed by dripping and take around 100 years per cubic inch instead of 175 because the water can come down a little bit faster from dripping instead of oozing out of the rock like the flowstone.
Okay, y'all, so she called this cave bacon.
So on your right, in this room you have lots of different things going on. So just listen close for a second, then I'll let you guys walk around and take some photos. But right where my light's at, that's a giant piece of popcorn crystal. That one doesn't have as much iron oxide in it. But on the walls up here, you'll see lots of that boxwork, just like we saw in the top room. I'm gonna have you guys head all the way back there so you can see what I mentioned. You guys want it happened, but it did kill all of the cyanobacteria right underneath the formation, and that dried out the whole entire thing. Make sure you're watching your step right here too.
All right, y'all, so check that out. Kind of looks like s'mores
We're
back
in this
here.
back room. I'm aware that the lights are off, but I'm gonna have you guys all squeeze in.
All right,
here.
we're gonna
Outside
pause
this
again.
zodiac's kind of, you can definitely see that, especially up in that pocket.
Pretty
It's like
amazing, y'all.
snowflakes coming out of it.
Pretty amazing. Just checking it out, y'all. We're still moving around this cave. I know I haven't done a lot of talking, but I like to let the tour guide do the thing. Okay, everyone, so we've completed the cave tour. As you see, I let the guide do a lot of the talking instead of me. But we've completed it. Those stairs coming up were heck on my knees, but we made it back. All right, so we'll see you next time around. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, and we'll see you out there on the road.